Hey everybody, it's Foxx from modelmaking.guru here. Hello, hello, and welcome to part 2, issue 2 of the Fanhome Iron Man Mark III Armour Partwork build. Yes, hello, hello, welcome. We've done issue 1 so far, and in that we did the amazing bonsulatory area. We've done that bit, yes. Today we're going to be working on an foot. Now, before we get going, I do need to declare, obviously this is a Fanhome partwork, and they are very kindly sending me this partwork free of charge. So massive, massive thank you to the guys at Fanhome. They're sending it to me so I can film the building. So big thank you to them. If you don't know who Partwork are, and maybe you'd like to pick this up for yourself or one of their other amazing partworks, here's a quick video. There you go, fanhome.com. Go and check it out. Go and have a look and see. If nothing there tickles your fancy right now, don't panic. I'm sure there'll be lots more things appearing on there in the coming months and years that might be more interest to you. So keep an eye on it. Go and check them out. Fanhome.com. Anyway, let's crack on. Before we get to the buildy, let's have a quick look at issue 2. Now, I do need to explain, as I did in the last episode, whenever I used to read comics as a kid, and it wasn't very often, I was more DC Comics and Batman. I wasn't really into superheroes. I thought they were a bit rubbish, and I wasn't really into Marvel because I couldn't stand the Stan Lee bullpen style of artwork. I know, heresy, I know. Everybody right now is screaming at me. But I have to say, to my credit, I did recently watch all the MCU movies, and I really enjoyed them. I thought they were brilliant. And I know Iron Man is not really a superhero, which is he's like a Batman. It's just a dude, but with some amazing technology, because Batman is just Bruce Wayne, who's a dude with some amazing technology. He's like Marvel's Batman, but with more gold and red, obviously. So I'm hoping as I go along doing this partwork, I'll learn some stuff, because I didn't like Marvel when I was younger, but now it's like, after watching the movies, I know the movies are a bit different, but I'm getting into it. Anyway, let's have a quick look. So in the first issue, where we looked at the origins of Iron Man and Tony Stark in the cinematic universe, in this issue we're looking at the origins of Iron Man and Tony Stark in the actual comics. And it's interesting how Marvel have, over the years, they've kind of rebooted their characters' origin stories dependent on what's happening in the world at the time. When this was first, he first appeared in the 1960s, he was a prisoner in Vietnam, not in Afghanistan. So it's very telling. Basically the same story though. He's a prisoner. He makes the Iron Man Mark I and escapes, and it takes it from there. Billionaire playboy. You know where it's going. So it's quite nice the way they adapted the story to the modern day. And I have to say, in the original comics, of course, Tony Stark is actually a wizard with miniature transistors. That's his thing. He's a billionaire technology playboy because of his miniature transistors, because bless them, at the time that was the new hotness. So look at the inside of that Iron Man armor. It's like, that's great. Where's he actually going to be inside there? It's very quaint, very quaint. Then, of course, we've got the buildy part, and we're working on An Foot today. And then in the back of the magazine, we've got some information on the Superhuman Registration Act, which is the canon storyline where the government wanted to enforce a sort of registration act to make sure that all superheroes are registered and we know their identities and they can be tracked and made responsible for things. It basically created a whole schism within the sort of all the superheroes. It's quite nice, and it started off this whole civil war, apparently, as I've read in the words, because again, I don't know that much. So I'm learning. But there's big falling outs between Iron Man and Captain America. Captain America was very anti-registration and Iron Man was very pro-registration. And in the end, Iron Man kicked Captain America's ass, apparently. And then again, we've got some blurb about the Model 1 suit, which I love the way he's putting it on. Apparently, he carries a briefcase and it's all collapsible, and it expands out, and then he can wear it. He just puts it on, and it's like, yeah, just no. So quaint. And that's issue 2. So that's that bit. Let me go and get all the bits ready. We'll get the fluffy mat of happiness out, and we'll crack on with the building. Okay, so let's crack on. Now for this bit we're starting off building the ankle joint, and for this we need these 3 parts here. We've got 4 EM screws. Now because they're EM and it's M is for metal, it means we're putting a metal screw into a metal component. I've got my 3-in-1 oil ready to roll. You don't have to use oil, but I find when I'm using a metal screw into a metal piece, the oil just helps it go in a bit better, helps it, not fight you all the way in. We're going to be using one of these batteries as well throughout the course of this episode. You get 4 when you get the first pack. You get 1 for the head, 1 for the arc reactor, and 1 for each foot. We're just going to use 1 of these today, so put the other 2 away safe, keep them to one side. Now, we're going to start off building, so we need to do the ankle joint first, so let's have a look and see. Insert the ankle joint 2M into the top of the main part of the foot 2A. Now, I'm hoping this is going to be like building a gumpler. I'm kind of hoping this, in which case it's not so bad. I'm going to think of it like a ginormous Sazabi, and we'll see if it goes from there. The larger diameter hole circled in the round photo, which is this one, this big hole here, should face the inside of the foot. Brilliant. You just happen to know that's the inside of the foot, I guess. I'm assuming. I can only assume, because it doesn't actually show. I'm going to guess that's the inside of the foot then, which makes sense. So that goes in like that. And it should be, well, I'm going to have to assume that that is the inside of the foot. You can tell by the curve, but yes, it is the inside of the foot. So that goes in there. Fix the ankle joint cover 2L in place with 4 EM screws. So you got that bit there. And I hope I managed to keep it on camera this time. Last time I was a bit off rubbish and all off camera. Put that over there. And I don't think that's chiral in any way. That's just going to sit on there. And then we need 4 EM screws. So let's get all of the screws on the screwdriver at the same time. That's brilliant, thank you. We'll get the screw on there. Tiny touch of oil, the tiniest molecule of oil. Just going to drive that in. Now, I'm not going to do these all tight. You know how this works. I'll do it a little bit tight just to get it in. Maybe a bit too big. Let me get a slightly smaller screwdriver bit. That one may be a little bit too large. These seem to be some funny sized screws they're using here that don't seem to like the normal bits. So we'll try a slightly smaller one, see if that works. They're like normal screws, but they've got very tiny threads on them. If that fits a bit better. Is that any better? You can get it in. That's now too small. Ah, interesting. Okay, let's go back to the other one. Let's go for one slightly bigger then and see. That's a better fit. Now, I'm not using the screwdriver that came with the Partwork. There's nothing wrong with the one that comes with it. It's quite a nice screwdriver, truth be told, compared to the kind of screwdrivers you normally get. A bit better. But I prefer mine. I've got a better grip off this one because it's got a more grippy handle. We'll get these in. Now, we're not putting them in all the way. I'm just putting them in finger tight to start with, just so I can get them all in. And then we'll go around and tighten them up. You always want to make sure you do that. For 2 reasons. One, the main reason is you don't want to break anything, and if you put one screw in one corner dead tight, you risk stressing the plastic in that corner. When you put the other screws in, of course, it's going to bend it back, and then you get fracturing and breaking and sadness. So always put them in finger tight, and then just go around and slowly tighten them up. Equally, balance it out. There you go. So that way you're putting equal stress on all the different parts, and then you you slip and do that. You put equal stress on all the different parts. Oops, if I've had too much coffee, I've got the jitters again, haven't I? There we go, push that one out. That one. So just like putting wheel nuts on your car wheel when you've had to change a tyre. Get them all on and then go around and tighten them one by one. That way you just don't risk overstressing any one particular part. Especially with plastic parts because they're flexible and bendy. Fix the ankle joint in cover. With that, the part will support the leg and allow the ankle to rotate. Okay, it's very, very stiff, but it does move. It doesn't move much. That's very stiff, but that's probably a good thing because you want it to be able to support the weight of the model anyway. Now, it is entirely possible that I've done that a bit too tight. It's also possible that I could have put a little bit of oil in there just to lubricate it a bit, but we don't know how heavy it's going to be, so it's better to have it a bit too stiff so it can support its own weight and make it too flippy floppy and have sadness. Right, next we need to do the LED. Let me get that bit. Okay, so we have the LED unit here. Now, I was told off for going near circuit boards the other day and not having like a little thing to ground myself. I don't know what any of that means. And it doesn't mention anything in the instructions, so I'm just going to assume that everything's fine and nothing's going to explode. Push the switch on 2J into the small compartment in the top of 2A. That's there. The switch needs to go there. Let me just try and straighten this out a little bit so it's not quite as jiggly. That needs to be there, so we'll put that switch in there. Does it have a specific way around? Not that I can tell. It just goes into the hole, I think. Not really clear. I'll just put it in the hole. There we go. It just goes in. I don't think it matters which way it goes, does it? Be on this. Doesn't actually seem to say it needs to go a certain. Oh. Okay, that does seem to suggest the wires are on. Oh, I see. Yes, the wires go on the inside area there. So like that. I understand now. Put it that way. So that goes like that. The wires on the inside there. Fix the battery box in position with the AM screw. Let's get an AM screw ready. You think I'd have learnt by now to actually get the screws ready before I start, but no. Get back in there. Get off. Oh. Right, you go there. You go there. You get ready on the screw. Again, this is a metal screw, so it'll need a ditch of oil. We need to get this in place first, so that needs to go on there. And this needs to come around and sit like that. Yeah, if I can somehow manhandle my finger into place. AM screw. Touch of oil. Tiniest amount of oil, like a real molecule. Bit of action in there. Screw that in. Now this is plastic, remember, going in, but it's going into metal, but and if I can make the screw come off the screwdriver, that'd be great. It's come off the screwdriver onto a more powerful magnet. Yeah. Let's try that again. No, I can't. This is going to frustrate me all the way, isn't it? Right, you sit there. You go there. You go there. You get in the hole. Go on, you can find it. You can find the hole. Just struggling to tip. There we go. It's in. It's in. Yes. There's only one screw. It's a plastic component, but there's only one screw, so I can go straight in and tighten that one. There we go. Nice and tight. Switch is in. The actual plastic component you'll see there just sticks over that switch a little bit and stops it falling back in again. Just locks it into place. Okay, that's all of that step. Okay, so we've got a switch there. Nice little noise, listen. Don't know if my microphone would have picked that up. That's that. Next we have the heel LED, so we need place the screen 2D inside 2C, inside the heel. So we've got the heel here. I've got to be careful with these tweezers. I need to get some plastic tweezers actually, I really do. We've got that, and we need the screen, which is this white piece. I have to push from underneath to get out. That's the screen. Is that the screen? Yes. Place the screen inside the heel. Locate the LED holder. Right, so that goes in there. I don't think this has a specific way around, so that sits in there. Locate the LED holder. Fix the LED holder with 2 AM screws. AM screws again. 1 and 2. Get one ready to roll. Ready to roll. This needs to go in there and in there. 2 little pins. Sits like that, so that's fairly straightforward. Again, metal screw, sword of oil. If you want to pick up the 3-in-1 oil, by the way, you don't have to use oil. It does just make it easier to drive some screws into metal. It makes it less hassle, basically. It's bog standard 3-in-1 oil. It is available in my Amazon store. There's a link to that in the description below the video. I've got a store in the US, UK and Canada. And it's the same oil, it's just bog standard 3-in-1. If you want to pick up this screwdriver, which is a very nice screwdriver set, it costs 20 quid and you've got a million heads. I can't recommend it enough. It's a lovely set. That's also in my Amazon store. Just go and look in the essential tools section. Oh, do you know? I'm going to have one of them days today. I've had too much coffee. The whole thing's properly, it might be better. There we go. I fully expect at some point to go like that and scrape the paint, but we'll see if we can avoid that for now. Push the LED at the end of part 2J into the hole. Wait, what? We've missed a part here. Oh, I see. Into the hole, which is there. And then these two should come together. So that goes over there like that. Before I put pushing LEDs into anything, that sits in. Okay, there we go. That goes in there. LED needs to go in here like that, you'll see. Very tight fit, but hopefully it will never come out ever again. This pushes onto here. Everything just clumps inside in a higgledy-piggledy manner. You can hear the metallic clunkatrons. It's all metallic stuff. All metal components. That sits in there. I'm very conscious of trapping wires. I'm going to try and... Let me get 2 screws ready. AM screws. There we go. Get one ready. Very conscious of trapping wires and circuit board and stuff in this bit, so I'm just going to try and flatten it all down and tidy it all away. There we go. That sits in like that. Try and tweezer those wires, because I know there's going to be a joint here, so I'm very conscious of having a joint where there's also wires and little wire parts. Let me just make sure it's all flat and flush. Just still show wire sticking out, that's fine. Okay. That's there. 2 AM screws. Again, metal into metal. One there. If it's going in. Never quite tell. Feel like it is. Find out in a moment. Here. That one's going in. That one's in nicely. This one is, there we go, it's just biting now. It's just, it took a long time to get down where it needed to go. These are really strange sized heads. They're like a little bit too big or a little bit too small for all my standard size screwdriver heads. I may have to resort to using the one that comes with the kit. Let's get that, let's find that, hang on. Because there is a little bit of skipping going on here. Yeah, that does fit better. It's very strange, very strange. Okay, so that's that part done, looking rather spectacular. Next step is toe cap. Yes. So we need this piece here. This piece here. It says place the red toe joints. Oh, we need the little tiny caps as well. So we get some of these. Oh, I've got to try and pick these up now. One of those. One of those. I'm going to be careful with these because little metallic things. Oh, they've got magnets on as well. Cool. Makes life easier. Place the red toe joints in the round holes on the side of the foot assembly. In here? They're not going to stay in. What do you mean in this thing? What? Oh, I see. Hold them in place. Ah, I've got you. Right, so put one in here and one in here. These are like little washers, basically. No, that's wrong, you fool. These go in here like that, and one in there like that. This is going to be fiddly times. It says, hold them in place as you slide the toe cap over them. Do this on a flat surface until the toe cap clicks into place. Oh, that's nice. This is all metal, by the way. This is actually really quite weighty. Most impressive. So I can line up the holes. One hopes. There we go. Click into place. There we go. Right, so there may have been some slippy slidey, but I'm going to very carefully and gingerly move the washer underneath because it's just moved out of place. And I'm not seeing clearly through the hole, I'm seeing a little bit of the plastic, so I just need to make sure the screw goes in. Ensure that the toe cap is in place on both sides and check that it moves freely. Fix the joint 2H in place with 2 cm screws. cm screw, these are quite long ones. It's a big one. Again, going into metal, touch of oil. Let's see if I've got these lined up right nicely. Probably not. That one I don't think I have. I can see there the top of the plastic bit. Let's just get it lined up first. Touch of oil. Get the screw in to line it. That one. I'm holding it up to the light so I can try and see through. But you need the screw to be able to go all the way through the metal parts and the little washer. So that's pretty much lined up. And then once they're all together, of course, they'll just kind of pull themselves into place. That sits on there like that. It's quite a tight fit already. That in. Use my other screwdriver because it's easier to hold. Got to be careful now. If I slip with this, I could easily scratch the coating on the metal. That's that one. This one. This one. Yeah. There's something very satisfying about working with metal parts. Now that's quite tight, but again, I don't mind it being tight. That's the whole point. You want things to be tight so that when you put it into a pose, it can maintain that pose. There's nothing like when you're building Gunpla, there's nothing worse than a floppy ankle joint. You try and stand the Gunpla up and it just falls over its own weight. Yes. Fix the 2 covers over the screws. They press into place and have 2 points that keep them correctly aligned. There we go. And they've got a magnet as well. They've got 2 little holes and 2 little tabs. So that just sits like that. Beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. And then this one here. I love magnets so much. That. Perfect. Bit of magnet action going on. I'm loving this. I am loving this build so far. If this is as complicated as the Lighting and Electrics gets, I'm quite happy with this. I wouldn't want to do the R2D2, that'd be a nightmare of electrical proportions. Fix the sole under the toe cap and fix it with 2 AM screws. Right, get our screws ready in advance. Get the toe sole we need. Quite carefully. I'll have to get myself some plastic. I've got some somewhere. Some plasticated tweezers. This is all. I'm quite impressed. This is, apart from this one piece, I think this is all metal. So this goes all under the toe cap, which goes like that. Ooh, clink, clinkatron. Hey, what if this falls over? You'll know about it. Falls off your shelf. Clunk. What was that, dear? Oh, that was Tony falling over again. Get this. Bit of a tight fit. I don't know if it's something's catching. Could be the paint on the metal part is catching, perhaps. Or could be me being a chud and getting it wrong. Sometimes you do find with metal parts that because of the extra layer of paint, they don't fit quite snugly. They should. I just need to put, there we go, just push it in a manly way. Don't be ginger with it, Fox. Just give it a good old push. And then panic about it the lighting not working later. So these 2 screws are in there. Very nice. I'm liking this. I've got a thing for Gundam feet, you see. I think they're very graceful and classic shaped Gundam feet, but this is really nice. This is a gorgeous piece of metal. Really loving this candy coating. Right, so make sure it still moves. Absolutely. And I've not scraped the paint once. I'm assuming there's some kind of, well, obviously there's a kind of lacquer on this, but I'm assuming it's got kind of hard wearing lacquer on it. I hope so. Okay, so there we go. That still moves. Lovely. It's really heavy. Insert a new battery into the battery case using tweezers to push and so on and so on. Right, there we go. So we've done this before, so this is where I need to put my gloves on. Okay, so gloves on. There we go. Right, so yes, I've been told off for electronics and bare hands and things, so yeah, I know. But I do know with batteries that you have to be very careful, and if you can touch them, you can knacker them. But it's also getting finger jam on them is a bad idea, because you want them to be able to be in contact with the contacts, if you know what I mean. You don't want to come between the battery and the electrical components. So let's get that on there. I'll give it a quick dust and clean on the towel. So it says plus and negative, or rather positive and minus. Positive, you're an idiot. Positive and negative, you spoon. And it goes on this side. So I want it to be, the negative terminal is the rough one there. Das ist ein negativen Terminalen. Not using a magnetic screwdriver to do this, of course. Some plastic tweezers will be handy, I suppose. Slide that in. Nope, nope, nope. No. No. Oh, no. God damn it. Tasks me, and I shall have it. Yep. That's in. Oh, quick test of the button. Yes. I'm a wiring god. Lighting. I am a genius. I'm a genius. Position the battery cover 2K and fix it in place with an EP screw. I'm getting excited now. I'm enjoying this. EP. Now, I do have to tell you, my next Dodge Charger installment, which is also a Fanhome Partwork, is being prepared, and I have to tell you, issue 3 is the one I've been looking forward to the absolute most. Battery cover goes which way around now? It just shows the battery cover in place. That's not particularly handy, but there's one screw hole, so I guess it goes. That maybe? No? What? Screw hole there. So there's one screw hole. Oh, I see. Little slot there. That spoon, Fox. Use your brake. There we go. Yes, issue 3 is the one I'm looking forward to. This is a plastic screw, by the way, so no need for oil. Issue 3 is the one I'm looking forward to, because issue 3 is the front grille. It's the bit on a Dodge Charger that tells you it's a Dodge Charger. It's the bit I've been looking forward to absolutely the most. Also, I have a slight update about the steering wheel and the supercharger. But I'll talk about that when I film that episode. Stay tuned. So I hopefully should have those issues in the next week or so. That's the battery cover. I'm not going to go too tight with the battery cover because I might need to get it off at some point. Just double check. Good God, I can do lighting and everything. Chris, I'm a genius. I sent a message to Chris because Chris was dead excited for me. He said, I'm really looking forward to watching you do the head. And I'm like, because he had a bit of a time with it. That sits on there like that. And I'm like, eh. So that, I see. So that goes on there. And then you turn the light on by take it off, turn the light on, put the cover on. I was thinking maybe you just push that down, but that's cool. Excellent. We have a foot, and foot is done. I think we're done then. Yep, that is issue number 2, Completen Gefahrten. That is, I can't tell you. I know it doesn't really come out on camera because the colours aren't right, but that is, it's beautiful. It's almost drinkable. And I have to say, there is only the slightest of difference in finish between the plastic parts and the metal parts. The plastic parts don't quite have the same lustrous sheen, because they probably don't have the same lacquer on top of them. But yeah, it'll give a nice variation when you see the Armour as a whole. It'll give you a nice bit of tonal variation between them. That is fantastic. I am really looking forward to this build. I'm so enjoying this bit so far. And that weighs, I can't think of what that weighs like. It's kind of like it's about the same weight as half a litre of isopropyl alcohol. Just a random sort of comparison there. So there we go. So far we, in episodes 1 and 2, we have built the Bonce and the Futtengefahrten. And I couldn't be happier. Oh. So let's turn that. Don't want to waste the batteries. I'm sure the batteries that come with it probably don't last that long. Oops. Still not figured out the switch on the head yet. There we go. Right, so there we go. That is issue 2 done. Yes, excellent. So that's me up to date now. I'm waiting for the next 4 issues to turn up, so that'll be in the coming weeks, so stay tuned for those. Don't forget, of course, if you would like to get this Partwork for yourself, and I do recommend it so far because I'm having great fun building it, I've not had any issues with it, and it's rock hard and it's going to be massive, then you can go to fanhome.com and check out this Partwork. And there are others. There's a Dodge Charger, there's Naruto stuff, there's Star Wars bus, there's loads of stuff on there. Go and have a look and see. If there's nothing on there that tickles your fancy right now, come back again in a couple of months. I'm sure they'll be adding lots of new things as time goes by. It's the new home for all the licensed pop culture stuff, so I'm sure we'll see lots of wonderful things coming up. Fanhome, if you're listening, studio scale Y-wing, that Partwork, that's what you need to do. I'll give you all my spleens. Yeah, but yeah, go and check them out, fanhome.com. And again, big massive thank you to the guys at Fanhome for providing this Partwork for me. I can't thank them enough. I look forward to doing the next 4 issues. Don't forget, of course, if you'd like to support this channel and keep this channel alive, do consider becoming a patron or becoming a channel member. You can either go to patreon.com/modelmakingguru, or you can click the join button underneath any one of my videos. Either way, you're directly supporting the channel. You are literally, and I mean this, literally putting food on my table and making it possible for me to keep doing this for a living. So please do consider becoming a patron or channel member if you'd like to keep this channel alive and see this Partwork through to the end, which is going to be another couple of years. Until next time, though, I shall say take care of yourselves. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to check out the Amazon links in the description below the video for the screwdriver set and for the oil and all the other bits. And I shall say take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome. Go be awesome. Adios, amoebas.